Welcome to the How-To Studio. In this video, I'm going to show you all you need to know about Microsoft Word. This is the Microsoft Word for Beginners tutorial. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. So whether you need to know Microsoft Word for a new job, or maybe you're changing your career, or you could be writing a paper, or maybe you just have an upcoming exam, or maybe you haven't used the computer in a while, or maybe you just haven't used Microsoft Word in ages and you don't remember. Or it could be that you're new to computers. You're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about getting started with Microsoft Word. Okay, let's jump into it. So as you can see, I'm on a blank page here and I'm going to show you how to get to this page. So when you just open Microsoft Word, you will see a screen looking like this and you will see it saying blank document. Now this is where you want to go. You want to click on blank document as it will create a document that is you can start from scratch. And you'll have something looking like what I have on my screen right now, a blank document, no text, nothing on it. But the first thing I want to tell you about is the layout of Microsoft Word, just so you can understand where things are, what they're for, and eventually I'll tell you how to use everything. Don't worry about it. So the first, we want to take a look at the top here in this blue bar. This is what we call the quick access toolbar. So here we have different options and it's actually customizable. You can click this option and you can add different features to this area here, and I'm going to show you as we get down into the video what these functions are. This is the title of your document, so you'll be able to name your document anything that you want to name it. For example, if you're working on a science project, you can name it My Science Project. This is the search bar where you can search for help with Microsoft Word. You can type in anything here and you can click on the options here that you want to search. And here we have the minimize button that actually pulls down this whole Microsoft tab. Then we have this restore button, and we actually have the close button. And at the side we have a scroll bar here where you can scroll up and down your page. And here we have the zoom feature. If you want to zoom in, you want to see your page bigger than how it is, you just keep scrolling up. And as you can see, as I kept scrolling, I got a horizontal scroll bar here. I'm gonna bring it back to where it was at 100%. And then you have some options for viewing your page. So we have different options, but this is the default option for your page, but you can toggle these other options to see if you like those views, but I prefer this print view here. And then here is where it shows you how many pages you have. Now if we take a look at the top here, we see some words: home, insert, design, and so forth. So these are actually called tabs. And as you can see right now, the home is selected. You can tell by this blue highlight, and you can see there are different options within here. And if I click on the insert tab, you see there's different options. So each of these tabs have different options within them. So the titles here at the top, they're called tabs, and inside the titles what we call groups. So here is a clipboard group. You can see that the groups are differentiated by this vertical line here. So we have the clipboard group, we have the font group, the paragraph group. So in each tab we have different groups. And if you look within each group, you can see a little button here, and these are actually called the dialog box launchers. Now if you click on these buttons, what it does, it actually gives you more options where you can customize more, because with Microsoft Word, they couldn't actually put everything in the tabs. So what they did was create this little button so that they can add the additional features in here, so that you can add more customization if you can't find what you need inside here. Now, not all of the groups will have this little icon, only some of them. A little bit later, we're gonna get into the details of some of these icons here that's within these groups. But for now, I want to talk to you about the text and the keyboard. Okay, so with Microsoft Word, it's typically useful for if you have any type of project or work that is regarding words. So if you have a science project or you have a Word document that you need to prepare, like for example, meeting notes, or you want to write a letter, this is where you would do it in Microsoft Word. It's all about writing letters, using words. That's why it's called Word, Microsoft Word. So just so you know. Okay, so one thing I want to talk to you about, which is important, is your keyboard. So in order to type words in Microsoft Word, you need to actually use your keyboard, and there are certain keys on your keyboard that you'll need to know. So I'm going to put a keyboard on my screen right here. Okay, so as you can see, your keyboard have all the letters from A to Z. Although they are arranged in different order, they're not arranged in alphabetical order from A, B, C, D, and so forth. It's kind of mixed all over the place, and we call this keyboard the QWERTY keyboard because it has QWERTY, and that's the I mean, over time you will learn where the keys are. I promise. All you need is a little bit of practice. So don't worry that the fact that the keys are not in alphabetical order. It will be okay. In time, you'll be typing like a star. Okay, so there are certain keys on this keyboard that you need to know. For example, if I'm going to type, let's say I'm going to type a letter to my friend Sherry, then on your keyboard, you need to type the words. So you're going to type DEAR, and then you're going to type the person's name. So for example, let's start there. Let's say Sherry, right? But as you can see, I need a space between that, and the space bar is what you have to click here in order to create spaces in your words. So that's very important for Microsoft Word. On your keyboard, you need to click this space bar to create space. And of course, you see there's a comma, there's a full stop. So they're all the keys that you need in order to write your letter or do your project or so forth. Okay, so I just write the first line of my letter, and as you can see, I use the letter that's on my keyboard here, and for the space here, I actually pressed on the space bar, and then I put Sherry. And as you can see, there's a capital S here. How did I get that capital S? I actually click on cap lock. So when you see caps lock, think about capital, caps for capital. So if you want to put a capital letter, you press on this and then you press the letter and then you press it to remove the capital letter. So for example, let's say I click cap lock, right? If I click it, then let's say I'm gonna say how. Now, if I don't turn off the cap lock, it will write everything in capital letter. So I only need to put it on cap lock when I'm going to write the H and turn it off when I want to write the rest of my letters. So if I want to write how without it being in all capitals, what I need to do is I need to press my cap lock, then I press H, and then I turn off my cap lock by pressing it again, and then it will type my other letters in lower letters so that I don't have a full capital letter. Now, I have my first line here, but I need to write a second line. I need to bring my text somewhere down the bottom here. How do I do that? So you're going to do that by pressing your enter key. So with your enter key, it moves your text down to another line. So I'm gonna press enter right now and watch what happens. So now you can see my text goes down to the other line. Now you can type more things. I'm gonna say how are you. So in order to say how are you, I need to press my caps lock to put on the capital H, press it again to turn it off, and then I put my space, I type R, I put my space again, then I type U, and then I'm gonna press on my question mark there. So that is how you type with the keyboard. And if you want to add another space or two, then you press your enter key twice. So once I press my enter key, press it again, and now you can see I can move with my lines. Now, what if I no longer want to say, how are you? I just want to remove this entire text. I changed my mind. I want to write something else. Now, this is where you're going to use the backspace button. So on your keyboard, you're just going to press backspace. And as you can see, while I'm pressing backspace, it's just removing the items that I have. Another way you can remove the text that you have is to click the delete key. Now I'm going to use my undo button. Now your undo is to undo the action that you've previously done. So I've deleted my text, now I want to add it back, so I'm going to click undo. And as I keep clicking undo, you can see it's rewriting my text. It's undoing my changes. So another way you can delete the text that you have here is to use the delete key. So on your keyboard, you're just going to press on delete. And to do it easily, what you can do is just put your mouse at the end of the text here, and then you're going to cover it, you're going to highlight it, and then you press delete. So that just removed everything that you had right there. That's the fast and easy way to do it. Or let me do undo again. So another way how you can use the backspace key and do it faster than just keep clicking backspace each time, you can just highlight the entire text and then click backspace and it removes it. So these two keys can delete text that you already have. So now I want to start my letter in a new line. So I'm going to press on the enter key to go in a new line. And then I want to write some new text. So I'm going to write my text here. Okay, so for numbers, as you can see on your keyboard, the numbers is at the very top. So to select numbers, all you have to do is press the different numbers on your keyboard, and I'm gonna put some numbers in right now. And that's as simple as adding your numbers. Now, what if you wanted to use this @ sign? Like you want to tell Sherry your email address. And my email address is Sherry J, and I want to say @gmail.com. But as you can see, the to and the @ symbol, they are on the same key. So how do I get the @ symbol? I know how to get a to, but how do I get the @ symbol? It's quite easy. What you're going to do is you're going to press on the shift key and the @ symbol at the same time. So you're going to hold down on your shift, and then you're going to press this, and then you're going to see the @ symbol. Gmail, and here's my dot for my .com. Now this shift key, you can use it to get any symbol that you want. So let's say that you wanted to say like $400. So what you would do is press the shift key. At the same time you press this number 4 or this $sign, and that's how you get the $sign. So press down on your shift key, at the same time press the $sign, there you go, and then you put in your number. So if you want percentage, press down on your shift key, at the same time press down on the percentage, and you get that as well. So you're basically pressing on 2 keys at once. So for the icons that are at the very top, to get them to work, all you have to do is press down on your shift key and press on the symbol that you want. So for example, for the and sign, I press down on the shift key and then I press the and sign. Okay, so that's pretty much all the important details that you need to know for your keyboard. If you have any specific questions about the keyboard, let me know down below. But with these keys that I just mentioned, you'll be able to write your letter or do your project or do anything that you need to do in Microsoft Word. Now let's get into how to format your text. What if you want to change the color of your text? What if you want the size of your text to be bigger, smaller? What if you want it to be bold? What if you want it to have an underline? Let's get into all of that. Okay, so I'm going to remove all of this text. All you have to do is highlight it, and then you can click backspace or the delete key. For this one, all you have to do is click on the image and then click the delete key to remove it. Okay, so make sure that you're in your home tab, and this is what we're going to use to format our text. Okay, so for example, I'm going to do a text on the history of koalas. Let's say this is my project. Let's say it's a history project. Right? So if I'm gonna do this, it needs to be bigger. It's too small. Maybe I want it to be a different font style. So I can change my font style if I want to. I can just click this arrow and I can choose. You can see the different styles, how they look. And as you can see, as I'm scrolling down, you can see my text is changing the different styles. For example, this style. You can see how it changes. But my text is to the side. What if I want to make it in the middle? So you, in the paragraph section, you click center. If you want it to be right, then you click the right align. So this is how you adjust your text. So I might want my text to be in the center, just click that, but it's still too small. So what you do is you can put in the font size here and click enter, or you can actually change the font size of your text by keep clicking on this option. Or if you want to reduce it, you can just keep clicking this option. Okay, now my text looks much better. And what if I want an image of a koala bear? What if I want to put an image in here? Okay, so let's go to Google. Now I have the history of a koala bear. I'm going to get my text from here, but now I want my image. So you go to images, and I'm going to put a nice image of a koala bear. I think I'm going to choose, this one is cute. So I'm going to choose this one. So what you can do, you can click on it, and you can right click on your mouse, and then you can click copy image. And then you want to go back and you want to insert your image. So you're gonna right click and you're gonna click on the paste option. So there is my koala. I just inserted it, but as you can see, it's too big. Now it's on the second page. I have 3 pages. So I have a blank page here. If I want to remove this blank page, all you have to do is click on the beginning of the blank page here, then on your keyboard press the backspace button multiple times. Let's do that again. And there you go. That one took a little bit, but you just have to keep repeating doing that to remove your blank space. So now, instead of having 3 pages, I have 2 pages, but I want my koala bear to be on the first page. It's on the second page. And it's on the second page, guess why? Because it's too big. It's too big to fit, so it is on the second page. What I can do is I can make this smaller. I'm gonna make it smaller by going to any corners of this koala bear, and I'm going to drag it down so that it gets smaller. There you go. So as you can see, it's smaller, and now it's on my first page because I reduced the size of it. And I can reduce the size some more by dragging this up a bit, and then I can put it to the side a bit so that my koala bear is proportional, and now it's on only one page. And if I want to remove this page again, I just keep clicking the backspace key, and then now I only have one page. So this is my first page with my koala bear. And if this is too much space, then I just click my backspace button to reduce the space. There. Now my text there is in black. What if I want another color, like blue or purple or pink? So all you have to do is just highlight the text, and you're going to click on this arrow right here, right beside the A. Click on the arrow, and now you see the different colors. So as you can see, I can change my color to any color that I want. Okay. Let me go back because I want to show you what else I can do with this. So let's say I want a different style. I want it to look different. I want it to be unique. See, for example, there, I can use this word art option. All I have to do is highlight first, and then I can change how my title looks. If you want it to be different and unique, not just a normal text, you want it to stand out, you can do that. And you can also do it in the insert. Let me go back again to the original. In the insert function, and then right in the text group, you have this word art, insert word art. Just click on the drop down here, and you can select one of the word art function here, and now you can see different options. You can play around with all these stuff. You can make changes, you can change the word art that you have, you can change colors, you can do a lot of stuff. You can play around with this. So there's different ways how you can adjust and reshape your text that you have. So I'm gonna go back to my home tab, and I'm just gonna go back to my original koala, and I'm gonna click on this green option. So I can just click on this green option here, saying I've already selected green and I wanna click green. If you want another color, you can just click the arrow and go to another color, but I'm just gonna click on the A here to get back my green color. Okay, so that is how you do it. But let's say now I want to add some text, but maybe I don't want to type the text. Maybe I want to get it from the internet, and then I'll edit the text that I get from the internet. So let's do that. Let's go to the internet and let's get some text from the internet. Okay, let us go on this page about the history of koalas. Okay, so now I have some text that I want to add to my site, and of course I'm going to edit it because I don't want to plagiarize. So I'm going to copy my text. So I just highlight it, and then I'm going to right click and then copy, or on your keyboard you can press Ctrl and C to copy it. And then I'm going to paste this text in my project, but I'm not going to put it on the front page. I'm going to put it down to the second page. So I just keep pressing my enter button on my keyboard, and then I paste it in. So to paste it in, you can right click and then select paste. Let me right click again and select paste, or you can press Ctrl and V on your keyboard. Let me type it for you. Or you can press that in order to paste it. So I have my text pasted right here. Let's say I don't like the color, I want it to be fully black. I can just highlight all of it, and then up here I can press black. And let's say that I don't want it to be that size. I want to change the font and size. You can go ahead and do that. And you can change it to lowercase because before it was uppercase. So you can just use this option to change the case, capitalize each word. So you can just toggle with that feature to make the changes that you want. And yeah, so you can adjust this as needed, and then you can go in and you can remove text by highlighting and clicking backspace key, or you can add new text as needed, so that you can update your document as needed. You can remove words, you can add words, you can update this as much as you need to. taking a look at our text, you can see the two titles are different. Let's say I wanted to add a title that's bigger. I can go up here and I can choose one of these titles, H1, H2, H3, and you can update the size. If you want it to be consistent, you can put the size in here and you can choose this one. It carries the same color, and then you can update the size if you want. As well, you can change the color of the text if you want. And as you can see with my text here, there is two different fonts. If you look here, this one has this font and this text has this font. So you can just highlight it and you can change the font to make everything the same font. So now that all of the text have the same font. And then let's say you wanted to replace all the word that says koala and you want to put the word bear instead. So let me show you how to do that. You're going to click on replace and you're going to search for koala. Find what? You put koala here and you want to replace it with bear. So you type the word bear and you can click find next and replace. As you can see, it changed it to bear. Here I'm going to change this one to bear. So that's an example how you can easily change out words that you don't want it to be in your content. So that's a tool that you can use. Or if you, let's say you have a big document that's long and you want to see where all the words koala are, you can use this find option and you can search for koala and you can see everywhere in the document where koala is. Okay, so that's another useful function for you. Let's say I want to highlight koalas. Let's say I want to highlight all the koalas. Not every single one of them, but let's just give a few a highlight. So what I would do is to easily find them, I would click the find key, find, and then I'll put in my word that I want to find. And then I'm going to highlight it, and let's say I want to make it bold. So I'm just going to highlight it and click bold. This one, highlight it and click bold. And let's say this is very important and I want to underline it. So you just highlight it and you click the underline function. And if you want to use italics for a specific word or words, just highlight them and then you use the italics to format your words. Let's say I have some fun facts about koala that I want to list them as bullet points or as numbers. So I would just put my cursor where I want to list the bullet point or numbers, and I'll press this numbers so that I can put my facts. Koala means no drink. Koalas don't live in social groups. And as you can see, as I type, I click enter and then it goes to the next number. Or if I don't want it to be numbers and I want it to be bullet points instead, I highlight it and then I click the bullet point option here. And I can remove this number, and if I click enter, if I put my cursor right at the end and I click enter, it gives me another bullet point. And then if I press enter again, it gives me another bullet point, and I can choose the type of bullet point I want. Maybe I want it to look more like check boxes, or maybe I want it to look like this diamond type of icon. I can change it to anything that I want. Maybe I want to get a new bullet point and I can click on symbol, and I want to have something like a flower. I can do that, and then I can click OK, and then I click OK, and now I have new bullet points. So you can create basically any type of bullet points that you want, or maybe it can be something like ABC 1 2 3. You have options there to choose how you want your bullet point or numbering to be. And let's say I think that the spacing between each of my bullet points are too close and I want it to be a wider spacing. I just highlight it and then I click on this line and paragraph spacing option. I click the arrow and then I can increase my spacing. As you can see, there's more spacing. So you can do this spacing for any part of your document. All you have to do is highlight and then you click this option to increase or reduce your spacing. Here's something else that you might find useful. Let's say you have your title here, your heading title, and you want to add some type of underline on it just to spruce up your content and make it look good, or just to highlight that this is actually a heading. So what you want to do, you want to highlight your text and then you have this option to add a line underneath it. So all you have to do, click this arrow, then click on border, bottom border. And then here is where you have the option to change the styling of the bottom border. Right now it looks like this because I styled it that way, and I'm going to show you how you can style your bottom border. So the default styling is this one. Let me show you. And you click on here, you can see it's just a single line. But if you want to change the styling to something else, just go to border and shading, and then you can choose from several options in here. It can be 3 lines instead, and you can tell how thick you want the lines to be, and then you click OK, and then you press on it. As you can see, it looks like 3 lines there. And if you want to go back in and you want to change it to something else, you can change it to something else. You can just scroll down, take a look at the different designs, and you can even change the color. What if you want it to be green? And you can change how thick you want it to be. What if you want it to be super thick? And then you click on it, and you can see how you can change the different borders. So you can make your document more creative, make it stand out, and make it unique, and so that it is easily legible. So you can do this option if you want to take your titles from these bland looking titles to something that's more stand out and makes your content pops and easy to read. In your insert tab, you can insert tables, pictures, and other things. You can insert page numbers, you can insert header, footer, and we already saw we can insert different word art. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can insert a table. Okay, so first of all, you need to put your cursor on where you want your table to be inserted. I'm going to insert it on a new page, page 3. So to get to page 3, I'm just going to keep on clicking enter until it takes me to a new page. Now you see I have 3 pages. So to insert a table, just click on insert table, and you have an option here to insert table options for calendars. So you can just click on it if you want to insert a calendar type of option, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you a custom table. Let's say I don't want to do calendar, I want to do like a address book. So I go to insert table, and if you click on insert table here, it will show you how many rows and columns you want to insert. You can change this number, and then you can click on OK. So it is 5 rows and 2 columns. And the third option for inserting table, and it's the option that most users use and which I like to use, is you just hover over this and you can choose the number of rows and columns that you want. So I'm going to go with 3 rows and 3 columns. And let's say I have name, email, phone. Okay, so I have 3 columns here. But let's say I wanted to add in the column for maybe address. So what you want to do is in this last column, you're going to right click, and then you're going to put insert, and you're going to put insert column to the right. So that way I can add my address here. And you can put in your detail for each of these items here. But let's say I have like maybe 10 addresses to add. So what you want to do is on your keyboard, you're going to click on the tab function, and then go to the end of the row here and click tab, go to the end and click tab, and that's how you keep adding new rows. Or you can right click and then you can click insert, and then you can put a row above or below. So I'm going to put a row below, and you can do it again, insert or put a row above. Let's say I wanted a row above this one, so I'm going to go insert and row above. Okay, so you can do it that way. But now my text is looking the same as the text that is in these box here, my title text, and it's not being differentiated. So I could actually change the formatting of it so that it looks a little bit better. So up here you can see the table design, and these designs are for your table. So you can go ahead and you can choose options such as your shading, so you can differentiate, or you can choose one of the options in here that makes your text look a little bit nicer or fancier. So you can choose that. Right now it has like this blue type, but you can change the color that's here. And as you can see, your table is looking a lot better. There are more options here. You can choose, maybe I want it to be green, maybe I like this green, I want it to be green, or I prefer this green. And then you can do the shadings as needed. If you want to delete your table, then you just highlight the entire table and then you right click, and then there's the option to delete your table. Now let's go to inserting a picture. Now the last time I took a picture of Google and I added it in, but we also have this picture option where you can insert a picture in. So you can insert a picture that's actually from your computer. So you just click on this option here, and then you can click on this device, and then you can actually choose a picture from your computer to add to your document. Okay, so you just choose where your image is located, and then you select your image, and then you click insert. And here's your image, and of course you can adjust your image by dragging it to make it bigger or smaller and make an adjustment to your image. You can also edit your image in Microsoft Word by changing the saturation, changing the tone. For example, if I want it to be gray and white, you can do it. If you want it to be highly saturated, you can do it. So you can play around with these different effects for your picture if you want to edit your picture. Okay, so one thing that is really important when you're working on Microsoft Word is you need to save your work, so that if for some reason you lose this Microsoft Word, for example, the power cuts, or your computer shuts down, you need to save it so that you don't lose all of your hard work. And this is where the save function comes in. This little disk, it is to save your work, or on your keyboard you can press Ctrl and S to save your work. If you have never saved your work before and this is the first time that you're saving your work, when you click on the save button, it will show you the option of where you want to save your work. So you're going to choose where to save your work. For example, maybe you want to change it, you want to save it on your desktop, or you want to save it in your documents. I'm just going to save mine in my documents, and I'm going to save it as the history of koalas. You can change it to anything you want, and then you go ahead and click on save. Now, as you can see, the title of your document is now the history of koala project. And if you make any changes to your document, any text change at all, you want to always make sure to click this little save icon so that it will save your work. So now if I save it, I just need to click it and it says saved. I don't need to name my file each time. So that is how you save your work. Currently we have 3 pages. Now let's say we want to number our pages. So to number your pages, make sure you're in the insert tab, and then in the header and footer section, you're going to click on page number, and then you're going to put where you want your page number to be, whether it's the top of the page, bottom of the page. I'm going to choose mine to be the bottom of my page, and I'm going to let it be in the bottom right. So once you click that, you can see your page number being added to your page. So if you just double click here, you can see that your page number is added to each of your page. So you see page 1, 2, and 3. Now, if you want to start your page number starting for a specific page, I have a video specifically for that. You should see the video popping up on your screen right now. So if you don't want the page number to be on your first page, which is your cover page, you can start your page number from this page. So instead of this being 2, it would be 1. So you can watch that video to see exactly how to do it. So that's how you add your page numbers. And let's say you want to add a header on all of the pages and a footer on all of the pages. This is where you do it. Go to insert, and here's where you can add your header. So you just click on it, and you can choose the styling of how you want your header to be, whether it's 3 column, 1 column, or you want it to be a styling like this one, or a styling like that one. I'm going to choose the first one. So here you can type whatever text you want to type here. So I'm going to type the history of koalas. Okay, so I've typed that for my header, and as you can see, it is on the header of each page. And to make it remove these headers so I can get back into texting normally, I just double click on the page, and as you can see, the history of the koalas is on each and every one of my page. So there is an option if you want it to be different for your first page. So there's this option here if you want your header to be different on the first page. So if you click that option, you'll see that it's not on your first page, but it's on your other 2 pages, the rest of your pages. Now, if I want my first page not to have any other header, I just click this option. Or if I want to make it just something different from the rest of the pages, then I click this option and it will be different from the rest of the pages. So you have the option there. Okay, so and you can also format your headers. You can make it center align, you can align it differently as you need to. For example, I make mine center, and if I do it for one, it's done for the rest of them. And if I go back to my header and footer and I want it to be the same in all my pages, I just uncheck that option, and my header is the same for all of the pages. And let's do it for the footer as well. So just go to footer, and I'm just going to choose this option. And it's the same option. You can toggle it if you want it to be different on the first page. And I'm gonna say brought to you by koalas.com, and then I'm gonna center this. So that's how you can add your header and footer on your pages. And you can also change the color if you want as well. You can adjust it with a different setting as needed. You can increase the font size and so forth. So that's how you do your header and footer. So here, as you can see, just because I put this here, it's saying that it is an error. This line underneath it is saying that, hey, you're not spelled correctly, this looks like an error. So you can choose an option for this, or you can choose to ignore it so that that underline is removed. Now I'm going to show you how you can add a link inside your document. So let's say that you want to link this link to the koalas.com website. So what you need to do is to highlight this text, and then you can right click, and then there's an option here to link, and you just click on link, and then you can put in your link right here. And then you go ahead and click OK, so that you can click link your anything, any part of the document that you want to link. You can add links inside your document so that it is clickable, and you can go to the links. And to go to the link is easy. Just click on your keyboard, Control, and then click on the link, and then it opens the link. There's also another way which you can link any text inside your document. It is by pressing on your keyboard Control and K. So first highlight your text, then on your keyboard you're going to press Control and K, and then you can link your text that way. And then you click OK, and that's how you link text in your documents. There is a third way how you can link your document. So if you go to the Insert tab, there's the option Link here as well. So you can just highlight your text, and then you just click on Link, and then you just type in your URL. Okay, and that's how you link text. So there's 3 different ways how you can link your text. Okay, so now I want to talk about inserting a line. For example, let's say that you have a letter and you want to sign it. You want to add a line so that you can sign it. I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to write my text for my signature, and then I'm going to put my name. For example, if my name is Jane Doe, and then you're going to, on your keyboard, press down on a Shift key and this dash key, and you're going to put the cursor on where you want the signature line to be, and on your keyboard press down on the Shift key and the dash key, and you will keep drawing your line. You can press down, keep holding down on the Shift key and keep pressing this dash key to draw your line as long as you want. And if you drew your line a little bit too long, you can just click the backspace key to reduce the length of your line, or you can just highlight the section that you want to remove and click the backspace key. So that is how you draw your signature line. Now for the design tabs, we have some options for our titles. So we can choose any of these options to make our titles look more professional or more formatted. So for example, I'm going to click on this one. So as you can see, it automatically changed my title, and it looked for all of the titles. I'm going to just remove this keyboard here, and I'm going to remove here, and you can see it formatted all my titles, and it kept the numbering consistent. So you can just scroll through and choose any of these titles that you want for your project. And then here you can add a watermark if you want. For example, if you click on the option there, you have watermarks such as confidential, do not copy, draft, sample, ASAP, urgent. So you can choose any of these watermark, or you can also choose a custom watermark, and you can create your own text for your watermark. So for example, if we click on the confidential watermark, you can see the confidential is on the page here, and you can see it on your page there. So you can choose your watermark, and you can customize it and change it as needed. And if, for example, okay, let me remove the watermark by clicking this option. So if, for example, you wanted to change your page color, you can do that. For example, if you want it to be any color you wanted, let's say you wanted a pink paper for all of your project, you can do that. And I'm gonna go back to white. And if you want to add page borders on your page, I've created a separate video for that. You should see the video popping up on your screen. You can see how the different ways you can create a page border on your page, and you can add it to different pages as well. Or if you want it only on your first page and not on your rest of your pages, or you want it on your third page only, I have a video that shows you exactly how to add page borders on specific page. You should see that video popping up on your screen. Please watch that video to see how to do it. Next, we'll talk about the page layout. So you want to go to the layout tab, and then as you can see here, we have some different options for the page layout. So here, if you click here, I can choose the orientation of my page. I can choose whether it's wider or longer. For example, if I click on landscape, you can see my page is now wider than it was. And then of course I can change it back to portrait. So you can choose the orientation of your page, and also you can choose the size of your page. Let's say that you wanted your page to be a letter size page, you can choose that option. Or maybe you want your page to be a legal page, you can choose the option from there as well. You can also select columns, put your page into columns if you want. And also we have an option for margins, page margins. So there are like 3 different ways how you can set your page margin. So you have the option for margins right here. So you can choose the margins to be more narrow. That means that it's less margin at the top and bottom. Or you can choose it to be moderate, or you can choose it to have a lot of margin. So that means there's a wider margin here at the side and a wider margin here at the top and bottom. Or you can customize your margin. You can choose the setting for how your margin looks. And you can choose the setting for how your margin looks by just clicking on this little box here, this dialog box here. And here you can actually put the numbers in there. Right now it's 0 for everything, so I don't have a page margin. And you can adjust it. You can say 1 at the top and bottom. You can set them all to 1. And as I set them, you can see the adjustment on the page right here. And you can also choose your orientation from here, and you can choose the multiples of pages from here as well. And then you click OK. Okay, so setting 1 at the bottom was too big, so Word automatically corrected it for me. Then I'm going to click OK. Now you can see the margin has changed. Now I can also change my page margin by hovering over it and dragging it. So if I want to change my margin that way, I can. So you can drag your margins here to change them if you want. So those are the 3 ways how you can change your page margin. And here you can also adjust the spacing of your paragraphs as well. Let's see. Let me make sure that I am letter size. Okay, so now let's say, for example, this is like on the my second page, and I want it to be on my third page. And if I want it to be done the normal way you would do it is you just keep clicking the enter button as much time as you need to, so that you can get the page on the next, so you can get the text on the next page. But there's an easier way to do it. You can just click on breaks and then click page break, which will put this part of the page onto the next page. So let's click it to see what happens. So as I click it, you can see that this automatically moved down to the next page. So instead of keep on hitting the enter key, you just do a page break. So just click at the end of your sentence or where you want your new page to begin. Then you click breaks and then you click page. And as you can see, it moves down to the next page. And you can just use your backspace key to remove any extra spacing that you have. So I think you'll find the page setup very useful for how you can set up and adjust your page as you need to. I have my cover page here, which is a history of koalas, but what if I didn't have a cover page? Let me show you how you can add a cover page. So you want to go to insert, and then you want to click on cover page, and then here you have different options for cover pages. So I'm going to go ahead and click this option. So now you can just go ahead and edit the text as needed. Just add your text in here, and again you can update the fonts and so forth that you need to update for your text. And I'm gonna put my koala picture here instead. So I'm just gonna copy this picture, but on my keyboard I just press on Control and C to copy the picture. And then I'm gonna press Control and V to paste the picture. And my picture is a little bit big here, so I'm just gonna click on it and I'm just gonna drag it from the sides to make it a little bit smaller. So now this is my cover page. Now that I have my cover page and I have my content, maybe I want to add a table of content, and I want to add it right before my content. So I want to add it in a page here, and I want to add it before my cover page as well. So I'm going to use the page break option to insert a new page. Actually, I'm going to use the blank page option to insert a new page. I'm going to show you where that is. So if I want to insert a new page, instead of keep clicking enter and clicking it like 20 times to have a new page, I'm going to show you a quick and easy way how to insert a new page. So I'm just gonna erase all this extra space here. Okay, so to insert the blank page, I can either put my cursor at the top of the second page, or I can put my cursor at the bottom of the cover page here, and I'm going to go to insert and click on blank page. And if I scroll down, I should see a blank page. So that's how I easily create a blank page without having to click my enter key multiple times. Okay, so now let's go to reference and let's click on table of contents, and then you have a few options of how you can make your table of content look, or you can create a custom table of content, but I'm just going to choose an automatic table of content, and this one is manual. So automatic, it will pull up the data automatically for me so that I don't have to type it in. So I'm just going to choose this automatic table, and as you can see it says content. Maybe I want to write table of contents, and then you can edit as needed. It picked up the title of my heading titles, as well as it automatically added the page numbers. So let's take a look. As you can see, it picked up the project title, the page title, and also the page number. That's page 3, and the other one is on page 4. Now as you add more pages, it will automatically be added to your table of content when you add a new title. Okay, so for example, I'm gonna add a blank page, and I'm gonna create a new page. I'm gonna put a title. Just gonna put a random title here. Okay, and now as you can see, it doesn't show the new title that I added and the page number, but what you would need to do is you need to go back and you need to click on update table, update entire table, and as you can see it adds my new page title and the page numbers. So as you add new pages to your document, you just click update table and it will update your table of contents for you, so that you don't need to keep updating it manually. Now, if you have subtitles, you would just need to add your subtitles in. So I have a subtitle here. So your subtitle can be anything from heading 2, heading 3, heading 4 once it's not header 1, because header 1 is the main title, subtitles are heading 2 and so forth. So I'm going to make my subtitle into heading 2, and then I'm going to go back to my table of content here. I can also click on my table of content and just click update table and update the entire table. And then as you can see, there's a little indentation with my subtitle. So that's how you differentiate between the main title and the subtitle. Let's go down to our content. And what if you wanted to add an indentation on your text here? What if you wanted it to be indented like a little paragraph? So what you would do, you click in front of your text, and then on your keyboard you're going to press the tab button, and as you can see, there's now an indentation. And as you can see here as well, the little icon here, it is separated. As you can see, if I drag it further, I can decide how much my margin for my indentation is. So you can make adjustments as needed for your indentations. Now let's go to the review tab. So in the review tab, we have where Microsoft Word actually helps you to make sure that your content is 100% grammar correct, and it actually gives you a score on how well your text is grammatically, and it helps you to suggest changes that you can make. So as you can see here on my text, you have these red underlines, and these red underlines are Word's way of telling you there's something wrong with this text. It's not a normal word. Maybe the word doesn't even exist, and it's indicating that, hey, something is wrong with this text. So if you right click on your text, you see there's a spelling option, and then it shows you the different possible words that could be used instead, because Word recognizes that this is not a real word, and you can either add it to your dictionary, because maybe it's the name of your business or the name of your school, and Word doesn't recognize that name, so it picks it up as an error. So you can add it to your dictionary, or you can select ignore all, or you can choose one of the options that Word suggests. There's also some blue underlines as well, where Word highlights these words to tell that, hey, there's something wrong with this word. Like maybe it's missing a full stop, or maybe it should be a capital G instead of a common G. There's something about this text that you need to take a look at. So you can right click on your text, and you can see it's a grammatical error, and it's saying you might have forgotten a full stop. So you can select this option. This is the suggestion that Word is given. You can accept it by clicking on this, or you can ignore it. So I'm going to go ahead and click the option that they provided. Now you can see it added a full stop, and for this one, it's also showing that it needs a full stop, but I'm going to select the option to ignore it. If you click this little more option, you can have some more option there that you can choose, but I'm going to click to ignore this because I want to keep it as is. Okay, so in your Word, in your ribbon here, there is an option for editor, and if I click on it, I will see how much % score Word has given me on my correctness of my document. I have 58% score. That means Word has identified a lot of stuff that I need to fix. Now, if you're using an earlier version of Word, you might not see the word editor here. You might see spell check or grammar check or something like that, but it does pretty much the same thing. So just click on that option. And if I go here, I can see all the errors that Word is pointing out. and I can select my next option to navigate and see all the different errors. There's also a sound that I can play so I can hear how it sounds, and these are the options that Word is giving me, because I actually made a typo here and Word picked it up, so that makes it better for me, because you know, we're humans, we will make mistakes and errors, so Word try to pick up the errors that we make and give us suggestions for correcting them. So I'm just going to select the option there to correct it, right? And if I want Word to stop telling me about this error, maybe I have it 1,000 places and it's the name of my business and Word doesn't recognize it as a real word, and I want to say, hey, it is correct, don't tell me about this word, I can just click ignore all, and it will ignore all the instances of this error in my Word. So I'm just going to click ignore all, and if I scroll up, you can see that Word has removed the underline from it, and now it has kept my word as is. And you can also see that my score went up because I'm fixing these errors that Word is suggesting. Now there's also a word count option here where you can check the number of words that you have. You can also see your word counts here and also your page number. And if you click on this, it gives you a little bit more detail. It tells you everything: how many pages, how many words, how many characters. And this is useful if you're writing a paper or a project or something for work, where there is a limitation on the number of words or pages you should have. So if your project says your words should be no more than 10,000 words, or you should have no more than 10 pages, this is a good way to see the statistics of your work, to see how many pages or words you're having. And just the same, if you're supposed to write a 500 word paper, you can see, take a look to see, okay, I'm at 419 words, so I just need a few more words to go. So this is very useful to let you know how many words and basically the stats of your paper and your work. Word actually has a thesaurus, which is actually useful too. For example, maybe you have some words in your document and you want to elevate the language. Maybe it sounds a little bit too basic and you want to use other words that are more verbose, and you want to make your paper a little bit stronger. So you can just highlight the text that you want to change the word for, or you want to find a similar word for, and then you click thesaurus. You can look at the different words in here. I think established would be a better word than found. So there, I have updated my work to have a better word in so that my paper is stronger. So you can use these tools that Word has to make your paper stronger, make it so that you have a paper that is error-free, not much error, it's proofread. Word helps you to proof your paper, and so that you can get a better grade, or you can score higher in your presentation, or your bosses and colleagues will be proud of the work that you produce. There's also another thing in Word, and this is for maybe if you're a teacher and you're maybe reviewing the work of your students and you want to edit, or maybe you're an editor, maybe you want to edit the work that somebody has passed to you. Maybe editing is your job, and you can use Word to edit someone's work, to highlight changes without changing the content of the person's work, or maybe without changing your student's work. For example, you can add comments. So then you can just highlight the text and you can just add a comment. So you can add any comments. So you can just be highlighting the text, asking questions about different section of the paper through comments, and then you have a list of comments here. So when you pass this document to the person, they can see the different comments that you have added. And also, let's say you are editing this work for someone else and you don't want to override their changes. You want to actually go to track changes. and make sure this is selected, all markup is selected. And let's say I'm editing this work, right? I see this text, it does not make sense and it should not be there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight all of it and then I'm gonna remove it, backspace. And as you can see, it's in red. And if this word, maybe it's just not, okay, I'm gonna change it. Species. So now I've corrected that. So as you can see, I didn't override the changes, I just made changes, and the person can now come in and say, okay, I read this command, and the person can make the relevant change themselves, and they can see that you corrected this for them, and then they can just highlight and they can just go to accept. Now when you see when they accepted your change, and this as well, they can go to accept or they can reject it. So if they reject it, it will stay the same. So that's a good way to edit documents for someone, whether it's for professionally, for your work, maybe you're an editor, maybe you're a teacher and you want to leave comments and reviews on a student's work and give them feedback, valuable feedback. This is a good way to do it. There's also this option in Word to restrict editing. So if you don't want persons to be able to edit your content, you can restrict the editing using this function right here. Now let's go to the View tab. Okay, so these are the views, the different layouts that you can see on your page. The current view is a print layout. It's similar to what we discussed. It's actually the same as what we discussed earlier, and it's also at the bottom of your page. So you have different views that you can see your page in. For example, this is the read mode, so you can just easily see your page without any rulers at the top, without any distraction. And then you have an option to see your pages side by side, and you can also do vertical. So vertical is what we have normally. And then you can, here you have your ruler. You can choose to hide your ruler. So if you're in Word and you don't see the ruler, then you need to come into View and make sure that it is selected. And with the ruler, as I said before, you can change your margins, so you can make it smaller or larger, pull it to the left or right. Okay, so your ruler is important for that reason. Yeah. Another thing, like your ruler can be useful if maybe you have a project where it says that you're only supposed to have 5 pages and not 6 pages. So you can actually use your ruler to adjust your page so that you can you can adjust your ruler so that you can adjust your page to make sure that all the words fit on 5 pages and it doesn't go into 6 pages. The same thing if you have a page limit of 10 pages and you have 11 pages, you can adjust your ruler to make it that more word fit on that page. But you don't want to do it, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to move your ruler all the way up to the top of the page, like reduce your page margin so far that it looks weird. You don't want to do that. You want to do it in a way that it makes sense. But the point is, you can use your ruler to adjust the amount of words that is on one page. Okay, so you're seeing this little section on my page here. As you can see, it has this wide section, and that is because I have some comments and some changes on my page, and I need to remove them. So that is why you're seeing this line and this extra space here. It is because of my comments that's on this page, and it's taking up a lot of space. So I fixed that by going back to reviews. I can go ahead and delete all the comments or resolve all the comments. Let me go ahead and delete all of them, and then I want to remove this track changing option. But before I remove it, I'm gonna just reject all the changes, and then I'm gonna click off that track changes. So now, as you can see, my document is back to normal. So let's go back to View, Yeah, so you can show and hide your ruler as needed, and your navigation pane. You can see your headings, your pages. You can also search for maybe a word on your page. You can just search here, and you can zoom, and you can see one page, multiple pages. So there's different options that you can play around in here to adjust the view of the page that you need for your document. Okay, so now we have our document, we are complete with it. Now let's say we want to print it for our project, or maybe our presentation, or work. Now we want to print it. So to print it, all you have to do is go to File, and then you're going to go to Print, and then here you can see your pages, and you can scroll as well to see your different pages. And then you want to make sure that your printer is connected and turned on. And then you can select how many copies you want. Maybe you want 10 copies. Maybe you just want to print a specific page. If you want to print maybe only the cover page, you can say, okay, I only want to print page 1. Or if you only want to print maybe you don't want to print the second cover page that I have. Maybe you want to print page 1 and the rest of the pages. So what you're going to do is you're going to print page 1, and then you're going to ignore page 2. You don't want to print page 2, and then you're going to print page 3 to 6. So you put page 1 and then 3 to 6. And then you can choose whether you want to print on one side of the page or both sides of the page. If you want to flip it bottom, print it on both sides, from the bottom or from the long edge or from the short edge. You can choose how you want to print it, or you can choose to manually print it on both sides on your printer. I'm going to leave it as one-sided. You can choose the orientation, you can choose the letter sizing, you want to choose how many pages per sheet. So you have a lot of options here. But the most important thing, one of the most important thing, is to make sure that you have the correct page size. Because if you have legal when it should be letter, when you print your page, it will come out looking not as you expect it to look. And if you want your page to be landscape instead, you can choose that option. As you can see, this is the page view. This is a preview of how your pages will look. And as you can see, when I put it in landscape, like there's a blank page in here because it couldn't fit. My footer couldn't fit on this page in the landscape view. So you want to make sure that you review how your pages look when you change these settings, just to make sure that is how you want it to look, because this is the preview before you print your page. So I'm going to put it back on portrait, and then all you need to do is click print. Now I do have a video to show you how you can scan a page if you have a Canon printer. So if you are interested in seeing that video, the video should pop up on your screen in the top right here. So just click on it to see how you can scan a page on your computer. Now once you've adjusted all the settings and they are to what you want them to be, then just go ahead and click print, and so you can print your document. And to go back to where we were, you just click on this arrow, and then I want to remind you, always save your work. So we haven't saved it in a while, so just make sure to click save so that you can save your work and you don't lose your work. This concludes our Microsoft Word tutorial. I hope this was really helpful for you, and I hope that with this tutorial you'll be able to take on Microsoft Word. I do have some more videos on my channel with quick tips on how to fix common issues in Microsoft Word. So if you're facing any issues in Microsoft Word, I do have some videos on my channel that you can check out and it will help you. I also have videos on other tutorials that on Microsoft Word that is really to the point and will help you learn even more about Microsoft Word. So don't be shy to check that out. And also, if you're interested in Microsoft Excel or Microsoft PowerPoint, I do have videos on that. So please check out my channel, check out my other videos, like this video, give it a thumbs up if it was helpful for you. Also, please subscribe and join our family. And if you have any questions, leave them up below. I'll be more than happy to help you and to respond. Also, I just want to hear from you. Just tell me hi. I want to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.